have the input necessary to make this document something that has teeth, that the department will actually live up to and honor, and we hope that this commission will also withhold its approval of the policy until there's actually some type of attachments to it, or protections that guarantee that the department will be held accountable accordingly. Thank you.
Mr. Herman, not present. Ted Hayes, followed by Eddie H. Jojo Smith.
Homeless people present problems in neighborhoods, and police will constantly call the police department to handle that problem. I hope you also have been apprised of the fact that there are no longer any vagrancy statutes on the books, because the way we treated vagrants back in the day, it seemed that one time in LA, if you did not have a key to an apartment or a hotel and not enough money to purchase room for a night, you were a vagrant. But the fact was, even though you could be charged, convicted, and confined for vagrancy, as soon as you left the jail, you were still a vagrant. So the cycle going back and forth. I would hope that the officers have been apprised of the history of vagrancy to give an idea of how we formerly treated people who had no means of accommodation. We did that. We made people go back to jail over and over again because they had no house keys, no hotel keys, and no money to provide that for themselves. But there's still loitering under statute. There's still panhandling under statute. And officers might be called to deal with loiterers and panhandlers. That's what they need to be trained on, how to handle that. And if they're homeless and there are no toilet facilities, how does that negative impact on the community? Called in by a homeowner, called in by apartment owners, that someone is simply violating our community. Those are the kind of things we need to see in this report, not this nonsense, not this sympathy, not this empathy. We don't need that. We need to know how officers are going to respond to complaints from the citizenry about homeless. People hate homeless people, and they want the police to respond in the same manner. So that's what your report should deal with, how to respond to complaints by the citizenry about homeless people.
Eddie H., Los Angeles Community Action Network. In a meeting, myself and several other members of the LA Can had with the mayor on July 29th of last year, I stated to the mayor that there's not now, nor there has ever been, a clear articulation of a comprehensive strategy concerning homelessness. And that clear articulation has still not been put forward. But one thing I can tell you, the only strategy that has ever been placed forward is a strategy of criminalization by the LA police. A strategy that goes forth even today in the form of 5611. And I heard the officer say earlier that it is not a mission creep, it basically is to involve themselves in arresting individuals who might have outstanding warrants for nothing more than just jaywalking. We understand what's going on, that the criminalization of the homeless continues to be big business. It is a multi-billion-dollar business, and we understand that. We understand also that compassion and caring is not synonymous with the LAPD. What criminalization is. Right. It always has been, and it always will continue to be. So we need to stop, cease and desist with this compassion bullshit, because it's not what you guys do. You guys criminalize, you guys murder, you guys kill, you guys discriminate against on a day-to-day basis. We have done extensive work in the area of homelessness, and we continue to do so. So if you want to know what needs to be done about homelessness, maybe sometimes you need to sit down and talk with us and get some ideas about how to address this very serious issue. We say that house keys, not handcuffs, is the ultimate goal. No more criminalization of the homeless until you, Mayor, one that does not even understand the complexities, not just of the homeless, but of your own police department. As the LA Times and also the Downtown News was so eloquently stated. But for you to say today that compassion is the order of the day is a far, far reach from the truth.
The next speaker, Hamid Khan.
Start my time over. It's Hamid Khan is the next.
No, it's JoJo Smith.
I didn't call your name
Yeah,
yet.
you did.
No, you did.
You did call my name.
I heard it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
JoJo Smith from Los Angeles Community Action Network. We want to keep creating policies. We look back at SEI. In the first month, 13,000 people were arrested. They said SEI was going to be created to get out, coming in, preying on. But it was really a way to sweep the streets. 13,000 homeless people were arrested for sitting on the sidewalk. For sitting on the sidewalk. For having their chin up. We know what these policies are. It's a way to eradicate a community. It's a way to eradicate a person. You always want to create these policies. 5611. 5611 was a merchant order. Now it's surveilled on homeless folks. This is a bunch of bullshit. Chief Beck, you know you have no compassion because you said we protect our own. Big posters of this. We protect our own.
Right outside.
Right outside. You're not protecting the people. You're protecting your own people. You create these policies so people get beat down, just like Brother Africa, just like Kanye. Kanye was coming down the ladder and SWAT shot him down. He falls and busts his head. He was killed and died in custody. No, he died right on the streets of Skid Row.
Right.
Stop the bullshit.
Right.
Hamid Khan, followed by Dr. Huffnagel and Reggie.
So I just want to look at compassion and empathy and trying to think about Charlie Africa and Brendan Glenn and Krishan Carey and Carlos Acanio and where compassion and empathy came in. Kathleen Kim, you are a professor and also deal with immigration quite a bit. You must be familiar with Chris Kobach, who basically authored the SB 1070, the Arizona bill. And at the heart of the Arizona bill is this concept called attrition through enforcement, which I'm sure you're aware of that as well. This is something that, and the idea for people who may not know what attrition through enforcement is, this is an idea that you apply municipal codes to such an extent that it makes people's lives miserable and they can leave. Right? It's about ethnic cleansing. It's about cleansing of a place. That was the idea behind the Arizona bill, the anti-immigrant bill in 2010, right? SB 1070. So attrition through enforcement runs very deep in how it's applied in Skid Row with unhoused people. 5611, 4318D, Safer Cities Initiative. You look at now prevent or reset, whatever these policies are called, loitering, on and on and on. And what the gentleman before me, JoJo Smith, was speaking about was this flood, 36,000 tickets in 2 years for jaywalking. Or just, urinating in public, which has an area which has no bathrooms or anything at all.
Right.
People had to fight for trash cans to map the city. Right. So when LA Can released its report, The Dirty Divide, it was driven by the community from there. So if you're really serious about it, you have to, as a law professor and somebody who deals with that, think very seriously about attrition through enforcement, because that is what is happening. People's lives are being made so miserable, so they are forced to. But the cycle of violence continues. So this compassion and empathy is about command and control. That's what it is.
Dr. Huffnagel.
Thank you. Reverence for life is what Albert Einstein wrote about. I'm a physician, I'm a nerd, I'm a scientist, and I'm an ethicist.
Right.
And reverence for life means to do good. Evil comes from not even caring about life. When you're faced with complex issues, you need complex dissection of those issues to find out what is going on actually in the mind of people. The police department needs the money from wherever they can get it in order to reorganize the thinking that goes into these issues. We need to have a difference between myth and belief about homelessness and the reality of homelessness. I'm asking for a task force on bank crimes. How many crimes happen to these people who are homeless and go down and down and down? The police needs to be educated as to the psychology of these issues. They need to learn how are they going to grow and become better people too and do good. We all need education, and we don't get it. We get the Kardashians on TV, and we're so drugged in 1984 kind of George Orwell world that we need help. So I asked the police commission to do a task force on bank crimes. And when you're doing this, bring in psychologists, have in-service for the police, learn the difference between myth and belief and what facts are. We need to all change, and we can only do that by having reverence for life and working very, very hard. We have a very difficult path. Thank you.
Good evening. The Red Chief Hunt on the record. What I just listened to was 13,000 people being arrested for being homeless. That's part of Eric Garcetti's fucked up plan because he's a fucked up mayor. And I'm going to tell you why. Anytime that Chief Beck comes out and say, we want to build more jails than jobs, there's something fucked up about that. He want to arrest the people up under the bridge at San Pedro for living up under the bridge. You don't want to go out and get them jobs. And this is the difference between the homelessness. Now, when I go down there and kick it with them, I go down there and be one of them. So I know how difficult it is for them. Instead of creating their own format and their own platform, we try to arrest them, which is bullshit. It just costs the system more money. So you arrest more people, so you ask the federal government for more money. And that's how it works. This is how you guys run this bullshit. And this is why Mayor Eric Garcetti is getting C's and D's on this report. Because he doesn't understand the process of helping the homeless people. You don't fuck with working people that are selling hot dogs on the cart. That's just fucked up. You don't fuck with the homeless people like that. You get them designated areas. I have a 10-point plan that'll clear the whole shit up. But do you listen? No, because you guys think we'll see something dies. You guys go down there and write all this bullshit. And that's what it is. Bullshit bureaucracy. Right. You know, and you guys will never know because you guys never go down here and be one of them. If I were you, this is what Dr. Herschel Swinger taught me how to run the city of Los Angeles. If I were you, and this is what all you guys forget, because you guys go home to a blood house and all this bullshit. Right. You guys never know how they feel. If I were you. That's Dr. Herschel Swinger.
Amen.
Do I have a motion to approve the department's report? All in favor? Any opposed? Again,
Look at all the police officers.
Mr. President, if I may.
Look at all the police officers with extra heroes.
In the audience and those who may watch this.
Hey guys, I'm going to stop streaming. I'll be back live again whenever the public comments happen again.
At the lapdonline.org.
I don't have a lot of battery, so I'm just going to stream the public comments today. So leave your browser open. I'll be right back in a few minutes.
Or mail in